comfortable, something eventually Nev could navigate on her own, like when she's later high school with friends. So reliable that goes in hand with that. And somewhat aesthetically pleasing.
Well, it needs to be a decent size, not too big, but be functional for fishing purposes and have reliable, sufficient power.
Perfect day either would be a fishing or potentially like a shrimping type day, like night, with your dad, a good friend, and my brother, all going out, having a nice time, fairly comfortable seating. It doesn't have to be perfect, but, and I get that with the shallow draft, it's not gonna be the most comfortable ride, but decent enough ride. And we don't look like we're wearing suspenders pulling up to wherever we're shrimping. And the 2 dogs. The dogs maybe not for shrimping, but.
Well, I don't know, a warm sunny day, maybe John and I can, after work or, early, late, go out and with friends or leisurely fishing trip, maybe a cold cooler of beer.
I plan to go upriver, so where it gets shallower and smoother, there's catfish and that sort of fish up in that area, so it's pretty kind of calm and relaxed. But I also want to be able to go out like towards the harbor, so there will be chop there, and that's where like shrimping and things like that I would like to do with your dad. So I think it'd be like, I picture it being really neat, since we live on the water, to be able to go out at night and you just literally drive home. There's no trailering a boat or anything like that. So that's something that I look forward to. It's neat to me.
Well, we're at a prime location for redfish, trout, and not far from good shrimping water.
Probably like 16 to 18 feet. Anything more than that, it's just going to be really expensive. And I mean, I don't want the boat necessarily to be expensive. I don't want it to be more reliable than anything. But getting through our creek, I want it to be able to do that at 98% of the day. And so to be able to do that, it has to be a shallow draft. So that's why I need that. Doesn't have to be flat. There are V bottoms that, and I've had one before, like a flats boat, that are totally fine for that. It only drafts like 10 inches. So doesn't have to be flat completely on the bottom, just a shallow draft.
Well, I would say 16, 17 feet, just for the simple reason that we have a narrow channel right there to turn around in. It's got to be a shallow draft, and it's got to have enough motor to get out of, to beat a storm back to safety.
I think that depends. To me, I'm also cool with like a new boat. Like, it doesn't have to be like an old boat, but I mean, so I think for this boat, top budget, I would do 20 grand, but I have the boat for 15 years, 20 years, so.
Well, and that's kind of a little negotiable, but I don't know, 10 to 12,000. Bet split between us.
I like that we both seem to want the shallow draft, which is a good thing. And then I also like, one thing that I do like about the boats that he's been looking at are they're normally like aluminum construction. So with the aluminum construction, it's a lot better in terms of like running up onto an oyster bank or banging anything that the fiberglass, the gel coat and everything would get damaged more in a skiff.
Well, I like that skiff hull. That's a good hull. I don't know, and I like most of the ideas about the features it has.
The aluminum boats are typically greenish to camo-ish, which I despise. And I also like some of those John boats come with like their tiller motors. So you're sitting back there doing the stuff as opposed to a steering wheel. Again, it all goes back to Nev being able to go out with her friends. She's not going to be sitting back there with her overalls on doing the thing.
Well, the size, age, how that boat's been used, if it's been in salt, how well it was maintained will make a difference. And we don't want somebody else's problems to spend money on. So that's where it may come into paying a little more for something, but in a decent trailer.
Size and potentially age, but I think that he's going to agree with me in size. So age
to make it fit within the budget.
Yes.
I
think so I say age. We could get into it and we have it for 4 or 5 years and we're just like, we don't trust it anymore. You can always swap out with a new outboard as opposed to just like buying a whole new boat. Yeah. So that may be something that we approach then.
Well, I'm giving up my motor. To do a center console over a tiller steering, that's, no biggie, but.
I think we want the same things. I don't think that, if anything, he thinks the coolness factor of the gator tail type motor, he should just compromise on that. But I think now he knows that those are very expensive anyway. And we're not in Thailand. So we don't need like we're not long-tail boating it.
But at the end of the day, you want the same thing.
I think we do.
So I think the budget is maybe the sticking point, is like trying to get all the things that you want while keeping it under a budget that's realistic for both sides.
Right.
Well, I think we need to be patient. If other than a deal falling in our lap, be patient, wait till, the fall and winter, people are looking at, well, I'm gonna pay taxes for another year, insurance for another year, but prices are better in the fall or something like that they don't want to store it for the winter. So just be patient and the right deal will come along. And I'm in no hurry to do something before y'all get here, so we can pick it together.
Never being able to use it. So size and that kind of thing, I think is important. And obviously reliability, I believe. Well,
I'm kind of leery of a motor with 1,000 hours, salt water hours on it. But I don't want a small motor. If we get something, I want it to have, enough power that we could cross the harbor in a hurry if we needed to.
Not rushing into it. And when I say not rushing into it, not from my perspective, I don't think like him rushing into, oh, I got us a new boat. And then it could be things that didn't fit those criteria that we talked about earlier.
Okay, so for him, it's not rushing into it. What do you think you could do to ensure that you both get what you want?
I think this helps, like talking about it, like communication, like 100%, I think.
What's the best way to make sure you make space for both of your ideas and that you both get what you want out of this boat?
Well, we respect each other's wishes, be patient, and the right boat will come along eventually, but there we go.